Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the bold analysis. There is an assumption about Raila Odinga statement on mass action, and I think that assumption is very dangerous. We are both in this country, and we were around when things happened. And last Sunday, Johnson Sakaja was with Rigathi Gachagua in the same church here in Nairobi. And these are two leaders that have not been meeting eye to eye. And I remember telling you guys that on the China Square issue, there's a meeting, a ceasefire meeting that was held in Rigathi Gachagua's office. And and Sakaja was not invited, despite the fact that Nairobi County had a stake into what's happening in terms of this China Square. So I was convinced that Sakaja, of course, have been having that blood with Rigathi Gachagua. But yesterday, they were in the same church. It's not by coincidence that they just met there. They organized, and it could have been organized, and I would gauge probably by Rigathi, by Sakaja, to go there and talk about something. I want us to listen to that statement from Rigathi, from Sakaja, and it's not by coincidence because immediately Sakaja spoke. One gentleman, Kalonzo Musyoka, also reacted. Listen to that here.
Your Excellency, the Deputy President, Wakenya wamechoka na siasa. Wamechoka na siasa. Siasa tulipiga kura. Kura iliisha, si ni kweli? Mshindi akapatikana. Hawa wanataka tuwafanyie kazi. So tunaomba hata wenzetu, kwa sababu Nairobi, si mnajua tuko sisi wote. Tuko kabila zote, tuko vyama vyote, tunafanya kazi pamoja. Mimi sitakubali mali ya mtu wa Nairobi, biashara ya mtu wa Nairobi, maisha ya mtu wa Nairobi ihatarishwe kwa sababu ya maandamano. No. We must protect business, we must protect life, we must protect livelihoods. Vile mambo ni ngumu saizi, tusifanye iwe ngumu zaidi. Na hii mambo haitatatuliwa kwa kifua. Even the Bible says, come let us reason. Come let us reason. Ndio, hakuna mambo ya sijui mkate, sijui nini, but let us talk. Hakuna kitu ngumu kutatua, kwa sababu Mungu ndiye ametupatia nafasi. How difficult it was. Ingekuwa ni binadamu, William Ruto angekuwa rais, Rigathi angekuwa deputy, mimi singekuwa governor. But the same God who brought us here, hakutuweka hapa alafu atuachilie. He didn't make us get there just to get there. His grace is sufficient. Atakupatia hekima Deputy President, atapatia rais wetu hekima. Hakutuweka ndo Kenya ichomeke. Kenya itaendelea na Kenya itasimama. There is no Kenya B. Hatuna servants quota. Tukichoma Nairobi tutaenda wapi? Kuna mali nyingine? We will stay as one country.
Nimeona Governor Sakaja, kijana mzuri, akisema watu wazungumze, lakini hakuna mambo ako tayari kuzungumza. Sijasikia anybody, wanaona ni kama maisha kawaida. Na watu tulikuwa tukiambia vijana, wanasema nyinyi mnatuchelewesha. Tuko tayari, wanataka kutembea na miguu. But let me tell you this. This country is not a theocracy. Theocracy ni nchi ambayo inaongozwa na dini. Katiba 2010 inasema this is a multicultural, multi-ethnic, multi-religious democracy where all the faiths belong. So any attempt to make Kenya a theocracy will not obviously be accepted by the other religious formations.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the conversation about Nairobi security in context to Raila Odinga's mass action is already gaining momentum. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and also like our video. I want to play for you another video. I think I analyzed it in the point blank about the city pastor who spoke about the bloodshed. And I think it's in consistency with what what could be Sakaja's fear into relation with this. And I just want to get a snippet of it here so that when we come back, we are going to delve more into this new discourse.
Soon, and I repeat, soon, Ruto is going to make one of the worst stupid decisions ever, because he shall be misled, because he's seriously under pressure. And I'm speaking as a prophet. He's going to make one of the most serious, silly decision. I didn't dream this at night, no. I just saw it some few minutes ago. I was resting on my couch in my office there. As I was taking my rest, I happened to be in the city of Nairobi. I know Nairobi because I've lived in Nairobi for so many years. And if you are here and you have a relative in the city of Nairobi, ignore this at your own cost. Amos was one man, but he interceded for the entire Israelites, and they were saved because of his prayer. Daniel was a one man, but he prayed for the entire Israelites in their exile, and God heard his prayers until Michael and Gabriel were sent to him. As I always say, we can be a small church, but maybe God hears our prayers more than the big churches. If you have a relative in Nairobi, pray. Because sooner, Ruto is going to be misadvised. And I am speaking this, if he can hear, let him hear it. He shall be misadvised. And the misadvice that he will be given, he will hand over the city into the military for 14 days, 2 weeks. But people will misadvise him that that is the only way to protect some of his biggest fear. And when the city will be handed over to military, two things will happen. The militaries themselves, they will divide among themselves. There are those who will become greedy, and they will find an opportunity to make a coup, because there will be an open door.
Now, you see, this discussion is now done, and the discourse about Nairobi safety, as far as that protest, that mass action is concerned, is at the center of this discussion. I know for the first bit of it, and what that man is saying is, Ruto will make a very stupid decision to deploy military in Nairobi, and that can cause this and that. He's really talking passionately about what, according to him, is his prophecy. But if you check that video is trending in YouTube, I think for now, last 1 week. And people are actually listening to what he's saying. So as the deadline lapses, I have seen the new timeline, the new schedule by Raila team. They're going to, is it Migori, then they'll go to Mombasa, Kilifi, then come back probably to Nairobi. Probably within those rallies, they're going to give the next course of action. So we are in this. Sakaja is talking about the fact that this will not be solved by chest thumping. This will not be solved by drawing daggers. Kindly kindly subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell and like our video. There is an assumption that I think Rigathi Gachagua and William Ruto, rather Kenya Kwanza handlers, are making. There is first assumption that Raila is fatigued and the mass action does not have a direction. And again, the other assumption that is being made here is that no one will come out to protest, or rather that protest will not have an impact. And the Azimio team have been so much critical in setting that trap. You know, that's not the first. There have been mandamas going on. There have been those meetings. When the rally started, the rallies were initiated to, of course, the propaganda messaging around them on the William Ruto side was that they were going to be, they have been called mandamanos all along. And they have been, of course, they've indeed been very peaceful. And the president's team are making an assumption that no one will come out and go to that mandamano. That's a wrong assumption. I can tell you. You know, the last time I think there's a protest was, the last protest that Raila led was on January 30th during that swearing in. If you remember, the swearing in at Uhuru Park. Since then, I don't think Raila has ever called for any protest. But we are making an assumption that no one will come out and protest. You're wrong on this. And that's why I say that while you want to make it look at a Raila thing, this issue will indeed not be solved by fence sitting and dismissing narrative. These people can come out. In fact, they are already out. If you go to town, just the day the Nyamakima team were protesting, that was the last time I was in town. And I was there after, they did not last long. Within like an hour, the whole place was cleared. So we would walk Parliament Road, coming upwards until here around the Uhuru Park side. Even get to Uhuru Park, we realize that there are idle Kenyans seated there in their numbers. Understand? The idle Kenyans sitting there in their numbers. Just go to Jacaranda anytime on Sunday. Forget about even the Bunge team. Just be around Jacaranda and look at that place. Even on a weekday, you'll find people that are very idle just walking there. They're just lying there. There is nothing they are doing. So what I would want to talk about is the fact that we have a very big percentage of idle population. There are those who are in their jobs who will not leave their work. I don't think a mass protest will need someone not to go to work. No. The people that are already out in the protest, or that are already idle, will come out and do it. So if you doubt the attendance, you're wrong on it. There's the other thing that I also want to make here, and I think we need to look at. We've always had, I think, the president and the Kenya Kwanza team are making a very strong assumption that you can suppress a mass action. You can suppress it by the narratives around, and what will suppress within narratives are some of the people that are receiving this information here and there. But even if you are to suppress them the day, you cannot shoot, you cannot kill all of them. You cannot kill all of them. You cannot kill all of them. And I know there is something that Raila will head to the State House team or not. I don't think even in terms of the direction they will take, that's again the problem. That will not be a problem. If they are to take, during Sikua Jivanji, the day Raila was going to Jivanji, the road to State House was locked, barricaded by police. And I don't know, maybe they thought people would even attempt to. I can tell you, to the extent to where the Raila Odinga I'm seeing, I don't think there is anything else he's fearing. I can tell you that. I don't think there is any other card that Raila is remaining. And those who have been pushing, for some of us that have been trying to watch those rallies, you will understand. The people that have been pushing, you will see, leave alone even the leaders, in the population, people are asking to enter State House lini. One of the greatest difficulties, and I can confess this from point of knowledge, one of the greatest challenges by Azimio strategists is, what else can you say people going to protest apart from going to State House? So people are already skewed. People are already skewed. And I want to draw a word from P.L. Mole Mumba's letter. He said that we're making an assumption that things will just be good, but understand that both supporters of William Ruto and supporters of Raila Odinga are active. And these guys can converge. What's going to happen? What do we saw in Kisii? So the call for mass action could be there. We could still stay comfortable trying to dismiss on either side, saying, oh, I will not, it will not happen, but it can happen. So I also intend on the fact that I know daggers are drawn. Raila is asking for the server legitimacy, which William Ruto have already said he cannot open. The population is saying no handshake. The only handshake we want is that of opening the servers. So already the daggers are drawn. Raila Odinga is in a very difficult situation because anything of a handshake will not make sense to his supporters, because I think the supporters have been checking at what the people are saying. The supporters are saying that we don't want to betray the cause. And Raila cannot repeat the same mistake of 2017. If you make a mistake of 2017, if Raila goes to a handshake with William Ruto, what would happen here is the whole team you see around Azimio will troop to William Ruto, and 2027 contact is done. So we need to be very realistic that if a solution is to be found and the solution is a ceasefire, then it's not a wrong call from Sakaja. What is my guess is that there are a lot of fence-sitters, a lot of defenders, shielders on what is the right thing to be done. I want to say, amongst other things, is let's not charge the masses. Because if you're making an assumption that these Kenyans will not go to the street, they can go. And you don't need it to be nationwide. Unlike in the past, I will see Kiambu, Kisumu, where, Mombasa, where. Now, it can be done differently. And if 100,000 people are to get to the street, can you kill all of them? You can't. You can't. So we need to listen to the voices that if there is something we can do, let it be done. I think that's it. Let's not assume there's nothing that can be done. Just stamping, as Sakaja says, is not the solution. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my take. I need to make an update. Omosh Jakababa, who I said was arrested yesterday, was arrested on Thursday. On Sunday, there were efforts there is a fundraiser that was going on until even Sunday in the night for him to be released. So he was taken to Makadara. I arrived in Jakarta some time back, was just trying to follow behind the scene. And kila mtu alipelekwa ndani, the court. For him, he had not been presented, but again, he was presented in court 1. And of course, was supposed to be processed. The Nairobi leadership, some of the Azimio leadership in Nairobi, led by the MCs, were all present there. Quite a number were present there, and they were trying to follow up. So they're still following, and we believe by the time I was releasing this video, it had not been released. But of course, the process was on its course. So let's follow up and see how this plays out. You never know what is going on. But again, that's an update from what so far I have gathered.